Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Happy
Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Welcome to this episode of
Baking with Baby.
Baking with Babies. And
Hey,
what are we making today?
and they told you some different hockey team.
And this is OC from the Olympic hockey team. If you guys know the 1980 Miracle Olympic hockey team, this is OC, as in Jack O'Callahan. And who am I? Rizzo. I am apparently Michael Ruzioni these days. I am Rizzo and this is OC. And so today we are going to be doing your Valentine's Day Baking with Babies episode. And OC, what are we making for Valentine's Day?
Heart.
What are we making? Tell them again. Heart what? Heart what? Heart tarts. So the book that Liam, or OC, is showing you right here, the Frog Commissary Cookbook. For those of you who might be from the Philadelphia area, this was a really fantastic restaurant when I was growing up, and it had all sorts of really cool recipes. And so we are doing one of the recipes, a really special recipe from this book called the Commissary Book, Heart Tarts. So let's find page 245 for our recipe. Oh, past the desserts already. So you can see here, they're strawberry heart tarts. So they're tarts, like little heart tartlets, and they're in the shape of hearts, and so we'll show you how to do that. And they have strawberries on top of them and a little filling inside and chocolate and all that kind of stuff. So we thought that they were perfect for Valentine's Day and giving a little nod to the Philly area, which is where we're from. So we'll get you started and we'll tell you all of our different ingredients. What are we going to need today? We've got... Well, we've got vanilla, yes, Liam's favorite. We've got vanilla, and we've got, what's this? Butter, and flour, and we've got cold water back here, and we've got, what are these? Strawberries, and we've got cream cheese, none other than Philadelphia cream cheese. We've got, what's this? Sugar. Maybe in a little while, not right this moment. We've got dark chocolate, we'll be melting some of that later, and Cadbury's, no less. And then we've also got raspberry preserves. They usually call for seedless. They didn't have seedless at the store, so we're using raspberry preserves with seeds in this particular one. So we'll get you started with our recipe for the dough for the tart itself, because that needs to rest for a little while. And shall we get started?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Teddy.
Yes, said OC.
That's a good idea.
That's a good idea. Are we all hockey all the time? Yeah. All right, so this recipe for the tart shells, we're going to have 1.5 cups of flour. And as you can probably see, I have not made this recipe. I think we tried it once when I was a little girl, a long time ago. So I have not made this recipe in a long time, if at all, and certainly not by myself. So we're going to read along the recipe with you guys. All right, so we're going to have 1.5 cups of flour.
I'm right here with you.
Oh, how nice. You guys are getting a little smell and taste of our vanilla.
From my dinner.
From New York vanilla, I know, from your shop. All right, can you help me pour this in? Thank you, sir. We need 1.5. 1 cup.
Oh, that chocolate chip.
Those are chocolate chips. We're going to use them later on. All right, and 1/2. So 1.5 cups of flour. And we're using lots of kind of extra family stuff. Wait a second, what are we wearing? What colors are we wearing for Valentine's Day? You've got all your red on, and what does my shirt say? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Love. L-O-V-E. Love. So we're wearing lots of love stuff. We're using lots of family things. These have been in our family for ages. We're also using some special tablespoons and teaspoons that my mom gave me for Christmas several years ago. And each one of them, they're so used, it's hard to read now. It says made with love, and they've got little hearts on them. So we're using extra special things. We're using Granny Annie's sugar bowl. So lots of extra special fun family love stuff going on today. What's that?
What is the tablespoon?
What is, oh, the tablespoon? It says, here, look. It says made with love, and it's got little hearts all over it. And it says, 1 tablespoon, share laughter. Do we laugh a lot? Do we laugh and giggle a whole lot? Yeah, right. All right, shall we come up? All right, we've got our flour in there. Next, we need 2 tablespoons of sugar. Look at that. All right, 2 tablespoons of sugar. Would you like a little taste?
Yeah.
Right, and take a little teeny tiny taste. Extra sweetness today. All right, now help me pour this in. We need 2 tablespoons of sugar. Can you help me count? We've been working on our counting. 1, 2. 2. Nice job. And we're going to mix that up. Do you want to mix that up with your hands? No. I didn't say taste with your hands. I said mix with your hands. Or do you want a spoon? Mix it up with a spoon? Alrighty. And then we're going to take 8 tablespoons of butter. This particular recipe calls for 6 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of vegetable shortening. Today we're just using all butter, and it says softened, so I've softened it a little bit beforehand. So we're going to mix our sugar up. We will pour it in just a minute. I'm going to make sure all of our sugar is properly mixed up into our flour. And then we're going to take our 8 tablespoons or a full stick of butter. You can. I don't know how well it's going to pour, so do you want to help me spoon it out? Ready? Yeah. It's a little softer than we generally go for, but it'll be okay. And the recipe says that you can do this next step where you're mixing it all with a food processor or a blender to get it so that it's very fine and kind of really crumbly consistency at the end. But if you've got a pastry cutter and you're willing to chop a whole lot, you can do the same. Just takes a little extra work. All right, so you'll kind of mix it in a little bit. And then we're gonna cut it in with the pastry cutter. Oh, see, are you ready? Let's go find our hockey player. Come on, OC. Oh, what do you have?
My skates.
Your skates. Are these just any skates? Are these
my skates?
Your monster skates? We are all set and ready for baking. We've got our monster skates. All right. So we're going to take our pastry cutter. Make sure you get all the butter off of that. Use a knife. All right. Yep. And we're going to just keep going. You're going to cut it in with the pastry. Let's see if I can help you out a little bit. And this is good. Might take a few minutes to do this and get it to the point where you've got that kind of crumbly texture and consistency. And just watch your hands. Some of these pastry cutters, can be very, very sharp. So if you are baking with babies and not just on your own, just be aware that some of them can be really sharp. This one particularly is really nice. It's enough to kind of cut through everything, but it is not particularly sharp. But do just make sure that the one that you're using, if you're baking with little guys, that it's not too sharp. All right, you want to try some? Yeah. Yep, up and down. Nice job. And kind of roll it back. Yeah, we're not going to put our fingers in. We're not going to put our fingers in while we're doing this. We're making sure that they're safe. Just hold on to it. Kind of rock it back and forth. Nice job, buddy. Looks good.
I'm getting the pieces in.
Yeah, you're getting the pieces in. We'll shake it out a little bit and we'll start again. Can you watch your fingers?
Going around and around.
And around.
And then around and around.
You alright? Alright, so you can see it's...
Can I do it?
You can do it, sure. Let me just scoop these out.
Put these in.
Just scoop these in. Excuse me, right. Definitely not. Keep it in the... Keep it in the...
Bowl.
Bowl. All right, so you can see it's starting to get that really crumbly kind of fine texture. And you want it about there, maybe even a little bit finer if you can. Like I said, if you have a food processor, it will go much faster with a food processor. We tend to like to do things hands-on as much as possible. Nothing against food processors and mixers, but we tend to like to get our hands dirty in here. So it is possible to kind of achieve the same thing with textures. You may do it. Thanks, sir. And once you get to that stage, you're going to want to get cold water. You're going to have, the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of cold water, and you want it to be cold so that it doesn't kind of mix the butter in too much. But you want to have it kind of form the layers within the dough rather than melting the butter. You may. We found when we've tried this recipe before when we were testing it out, we found that you might need a little bit more water. It depends. Sometimes with food processor, it will mix it up well enough that the water is, and it makes fine enough that the water is enough. Why am I talking to them? I'm telling them how to make the recipe. We're showing them how to make the recipe. You may. Alrighty. I think we're about ready for our water, sir. All right, let me just mix up the bottom. Oops, keep it in the bowl. Okay, let me just mix up the bottom for a second.
May I do it?
We're making sure all the pieces are just right. Okay. All right, one more time. You want to put the water in? All right, we need 3 tablespoons. And if you need a little bit of extra water, I tend to like it where we put a little bit more water in rather than having it too dry, because if it's too dry and crumbly, then it won't roll out as nicely. So, all right, we need a tablespoon. Which is the tablespoon? There you are. All right, so take a tablespoon in your left hand. Switch. All right, and bring it over top of the bowl. We need 3 of them, and help me pour. Nice job. Okay, 1. This one. What's this one? 2. 1. 3. And we're going to put maybe 3.5 at the moment, and then go from there.
5.
Okay. And I tend to like to use a knife just to, when I'm mixing up doughs, just to kind of get all of the stuff from down the bottom, but a spoon works just as well. Would you like a strawberry? Yes, you may have a strawberry. Thank you very much, sir. Here, let's take the leaves off the bottom for you. One of the lovely things about baking with babies and baking with berries is that you kind of have little snacks along the way. And this recipe calls for a bunch of strawberries, so got lots of berries going on. How is it? Good. All right, so you can see as you're smushing your dough together, it should have this kind of flaky texture as you're putting it together, almost like a flaky, feathery texture like this as you're squishing it all together. And you want to mix all of it together and form a ball of dough. And then once you form that ball of dough, you're going to either wrap it with plastic wrap, or you're going to put it into a Ziploc bag and let it rest for about a half an hour to go. Lets the gluten and the flour rest before you roll it out. It says you can chill it up to about 4 days. Careful, buddy.
I'm gonna get the bag.
You're gonna get the bag first? Thank you so very much, Mr. Independent. You can chill it for about 4 days if you want to, but always bring it back to room temperature before you roll it out again. Alrighty, let's see. I think that's the snack. Nope, you're right, that's a sandwich bag. Perfect, thank you, sir. Bring it around. Alright, let's see if that's big enough. Oh, see? It's perfect. Let me zip it up. Close it up. Nice job. All right, so we're going to set this aside.
It went in.
It went in. We're going to set this aside, and while we are, you all right? While we're waiting for that, we're going to cut our strawberries. All right, you making sure I'm ready for the next episode, part of the episode? Thank you. All right, buddy. Shall we go cut the strawberries? Yeah. Let's do that.
How did you know you needed this?
How did you know I needed this? I don't know. Just you had good instincts. All right, huh? Okay.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, everybody, to this next step of.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. What was I thinking? Welcome back, everyone, to this.
Next step of the baking with baby. To the day we are all
We're going to.
cut our strawberries.
We're going to cut our strawberries, everybody. Okay, so I'm going to use a very sharp knife, and Liam is going to use kind of more of a butter knife, just a regular serrated edge. So still sharp, but not too sharp, all right? And always hold it down, exactly. All right, so we've washed our strawberries. The recipe calls for about 2 pints of strawberries. So here's your strawberry, and here's Mama's strawberry. We'll show them how to cut it. It's pretty simple. You take the strawberry, and you're just cutting the bottom off like this. So just give yourself kind of flat edge and just take the green part off, because for the actual tart, they're going to sit in the tarts just like that. Pretty safe. Whoop, flip it over, buddy. Other side. There we go. And watch your fingers. Yep. Cut it back and forth. Very nice. There you are. So it'll be all ready to sit. And we just need to cut it the once like that, and it'll be all ready to sit in the tarts like that. So it's pretty simple and straightforward. They call for about, careful please.
There's 2 more pieces.
Yep, should we cut another one?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll set this one up here. We'll set this aside. Would you like to cut another one? Pull these back and out of the way. Nice job. Okay, here we go. Okay, and always hold it down. Okay.
Quickly.
I just want to make sure that it's holding steady, and you always hold it right up at the tip there. There we go. Nice job. And then we put this over here. All right. So, like I said, 2 pints you're going to put depending on the size of your tart, whether you're making several small tarts or one big tart. Depends on how many strawberries go in the tart itself, but it's enough to fill the tart. So at minimum 2 pints, or if you're baking with babies, you might want to get like 4 or 5 pints in the process, because you might eat the rest along the way. All right, so we're going to cut the rest of these up, and we'll see you in just a little bit. See you in a bit, everybody.
You meet everyone.
You came back with your skates on high, OC. What are those rolling pins? Guess what? Happy Valentine's Day. These are brand new rolling pins for you and Mama for baking with babies. Happy Valentine's Day.
Why do we not have the other one?
Well, those were our special ones from Christmas, from Santa. And look. This one, what letter is that? Can you see? S for Shannon and... Oh, for what letter is that? L for Liam. So this is for OC. So that is your rolling pin, and this one's for Mama. And look, they have shamrocks for Ireland. So Mama and Dada's friend Mickey Hicks made these for us, just for us.
Mickey made.
Yeah, our friend Mickey Hicks in Alabama made these for us.
Mickey made it.
Can we say thanks, Mickey?
Thanks, Mickey.
Thanks, Mickey. And should we use these to roll out our dough? Yeah. Okay. So welcome back, everybody. These are some
Welcome back, everyone.
These are some extra special rolling pins for this Valentine's Day. And a special thanks to Mickey Hicks for making them for us. We are absolutely delighted. And Mickey, shall we roll out our dough with our special rolling pins?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're going to take some flour and put it out. Woo! Put it out on our rolling board or a rolling mat. And we're going to take our dough. Whew. They're pretty fast. All right, hold on to this for a second. Hold on. We're going to take our dough, which has been resting for a half an hour. Should we take it out of our bag? Yeah.
Is it big enough?
Is it big enough? I think it's big enough. All right, so we are all ready to make our tarts and our tart shells to roll them out. If you were making multiple tart shells, this recipe originally calls for gelatin molds or the kind of rubber molds that you can use in the oven. We don't have any of those. We have some smaller things that we could use to mold over them, but you need, you're going to be laying it over the back of kind of almost like a cake pan or a muffin tin if you don't have that. And so right now, closest thing we have is this heart cake tin, which we're going to use, which works really, really well. So we're making one really, really big heart tart. The recipe calls for 6 smaller heart tarts. So if you're going to make multiple of them, you either divide it into 6 different portions of the dough or however many tarts you're going to make. Since we are not going to be making more than one, we're just going to roll out our entire dough. Shall we try? Okay, so we'll set this aside just for a moment. Shall you use Liam's rolling pin?
Oh,
Mama.
new rolling.
Oh, C's new rolling pin. All right, let's scooch the table back a little bit. All right, and remember, hello, before we're going to smush our dough into the flour, make sure that both sides get some good flour so it doesn't stick, and you want to roll it into a circle. All right, shall we? Shall we? Nice job. How is it?
Good.
Good.
Can we make hearts?
We are going to make hearts. We have to roll our dough out. That goes what? Ooh, nice.
It goes two.
So we have lots of different heart-shaped things, but apparently no heart-shaped molds. Smaller ones anyway. Alrighty. And you want it to be kind of, I'd say probably about 1/8 of an inch, maybe 1/4 of an inch thick, depending on how thick you like your pie crusts. You don't want it too thick, but you also want it to be able to kind of support what's inside. So once it's even, and you've got kind of a circular shape going on, you're going to make sure that your tin is ready. And so I think we're about good for that next step, and we'll see you in just a second. All right, so we're ready to put our dough, lay our dough over top of our heart pan. And so we've gotten this to a nice thin, but still kind of sturdy thickness for our dough. And for our pan, we put in a little bit of cooking spray on it. So not a whole lot, but enough that it'll help the dough to kind of lift off afterwards. We found that it's helpful. Alrighty, so we're gonna set these aside for a second. Shall we lift up our dough? Mm-hmm. Lift up our dough and let's, whoop, is it a little slippery? Flip our dough back and slide this in. Ready? And then we'll gently lay it over top. So kind of like you're putting it into a pie shell or a pie pan, but we're putting it over top instead of in. You wanna be careful. You want to do this gently because you can see it can pull a little bit here. You want to do it gently.
What's in there?
What's in there? The heart is in there. All right, and you're going to kind of tuck it around to form the shape over top. Can you help me? And tuck it in. Here, let's scooch this towards you a little bit. Tuck him in. Yes. And these...
He's nice and warm.
He's nice and warm. And obviously, if you don't have any heart-shaped things, you can do this with just a circular kind of cake as well.
You can see a post. You can see a mouth.
You can see a mouth. Whose mouth?
It's a mouth.
Are you silly? All right, and then you're going to take a knife. We're just using a small paring knife and just kind of go around the edges in the shape of the pan.
Don't cut.
We're just cutting off the excess dough around the outside. And you can either make extra little tarts with it or just put a little, excuse me for a second, buddy. Watch your hands. Watch your hands.
I'm patting.
You're patting it down?
I'm patting
Yeah,
him down.
just be careful of Mama's hands and not too hard. Not too
Go
hard.
home.
Okay. And then you cut around the outsides, and like I said, you can use the excess dough for excess little tarts, or you can cook it up in the oven, bake it in the oven with a little bit of cinnamon and sugar sprinkled over top of it. So just kind of form the dough around a little bit, and then you're going to prick it gently with a fork. Would you like to help me? Yeah. All right, so you don't want to do it too hard, just really gently. And if you want to do some designs, you can do some designs, but this is going to be the outside of the tart. And this is to make sure.
Oh, this is to me.
That one's for you?
That one.
No grabbing. So may I have it, please?
May I have it, please?
You may. But I'm going to help you with it because we're going to do it gently. Okay? We're going to do it together. Nice job.
That clearing snow.
It's in the snow?
Yeah. That's so this snow plow can come.
Oh, is that showing them where to go?
Yeah.
Yeah. We were very grateful for our snowplow and our snowplow drivers, aren't we? Have we been getting a lot of snow?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, and do it around the sides as well. And what this does is it lets out, do you remember what it lets out?
Yeah.
The steam. Good job. Lets out the steam, and it helps to hold its shape without causing the dough to kind of bubble up. So you want to do that all the way around, but gently. So enough to let out the steam, but not enough to kind of break the dough itself. And I sometimes even do it around the bottom a little bit. Oopsie. Tuck it back in there.
Oh, he's on the tractor.
You're on your tractor.
Yeah.
Osie's a busy guy.
He's on the tractor.
Okay, and so once you have this, we put it onto a baking sheet just to have it not right up against the rack in the oven. But you don't have to spray this or anything. This is just kind of a placeholder, so to speak. All right, buddy, you want to help me lift it on? All right, lift it on gently, and you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Give it that extra little love pat. All right, 350 degrees. You're gonna put in the oven for, it says 15 to 20 minutes. With our oven, we found about 25 minutes. But until it's kind of a nice golden brown color, and then you'll take it out and you're gonna let it cool on whatever mold you're using, whether it's a cake pan, whether it's a gelatin mold, or whatever you're using. You're gonna let it cool completely on that mold so it really holds its shape. All right, so here we go. Scooch our table back.
Look what is the back of my tractor did packages.
Oh my!
My tractor.
All right, here we go. We'll put it in. And we'll set our timer. We're gonna set ours for around 20 minutes. Whoops, here we go. And say, we'll see you in a bit, everybody.
See you in a bit, everyone.
See you in a bit, everyone.
Look in the back of my tractor. No, look.
Oh, look. Oh, my. Lots and lots of packages.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, everybody. One. All right, we are ready to take out our heart tart shell. Let's check on it in the oven. Let me see how it's doing. Ready? Oh, it looks amazing. All right, let's use our love tea towel for Valentine's Day.
Is Valentine's Day today?
Tomorrow. It's Valentine's Day. All right, and it looks perfect. So tell everybody, let them know it's very wet.
Here we are.
It's very hot, so please don't touch it. Let it cool. It takes about 25 minutes to half an hour to cool completely. And remember to let it cool, let the tart shell cool on your mold. You don't want to take it off or else it will probably, the crust will break. So you want to let it cool entirely on the mold. As you can see, we attempted to use some of our extra pie shells. A little too dark because we got distracted with things, but we tried to make little kind of heart cookies out of our extra pie shell, so we'll see how they are as well. But in the meantime, let it cool. We'll start to melt some of our chocolate for our next step, but say we'll see you in a bit, everybody.
See you in a bit, everyone.
See you in a bit, everyone. All right, kisses. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. We're going to do the next step of our Baking with Babies episode. We're going to take the tart shell off of the mold. So you have to be very, very what? Very careful. Okay, so you're just going to try and see if you can gently see if it'll shift at all. Up. And help. Really, really gently and really slowly. Liam, this looks wonderful. We're going to be very gentle. Yeah. Smell? It smells amazing. All right, so we're going to scooch our mold out of the way, and we're going to put this down so it's been completely cooled. And what's this over here? What do we have to paint on? The chocolate. Okay. Spatula?
Yeah.
Spatula. Alright, and what we're going to do, we're going to take a little bit. We're going to take a little bit and put it in. You don't want a really thick layer. I guess it's up to you and your preference of how much you like chocolate or don't like chocolate. We're using dark chocolate. You can certainly use milk chocolate, or I suppose even white chocolate if you prefer. This recipe calls for semi-sweet chocolate. So take just a little bit. And if you're making the smaller tarts, you're going to divide. Not yet. You're going to divide this chocolate between all of the different tarts that you're making, but you want enough in there that you get a good chocolate taste. Nice. No. We don't want to get all over the front of you when we're not ready to eat yet. Okay. You smooth it out all around. Nice job, buddy. Put some more in here.
I help.
You may. And then if you happen to get just a little extra on your fingers, you know. It's one of those nice things about these kind of desserts that they have different steps to it. You kind of get to taste test a couple of the things along the way. Alrighty, and let's get all the nooks and crannies on this side. Should we turn it around a little bit to make it easier? I got that part of the heart. We're gonna get this part of the heart. Excuse me.
We're coming through.
We're coming through.
They are coming through.
It's kind of like a Zamboni machine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Alrighty. All right, and let's get underneath here. Once you've gotten kind of the whole thing set, you're going to set it aside, and it needs time to cool. It needs at least 10 to 15 minutes to cool down. So we will set it aside, and don't put it on top of your oven. We've made that mistake before where we set something aside to cool on top of the oven and the oven is still on. So definitely in a cooler spot. All right, so we'll set this aside. And then what are we gonna do next? We're gonna do the cream cheese with the sugar and the what? Vanilla. All right, let's set it aside. You gonna hold on to that?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so now we're ready to do our next step with our cream cheese. Yes, and so you're going to take 8 ounces of cream cheese, and like we said before, we're using Philadelphia cream cheese in this, and you're going to mash it. You're going to get it to where it's room temperature or softened to make it easier to do that. Keep going. Push! Push, 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 push. And you're going to add 3 tablespoons of sugar to that. So once we get this kind of all going and all mashed, we'll add the 3 tablespoons of sugar. Does that look silly? And we're obviously, this is a potato masher, but we tend to find that it helps to break it up a little bit when we're trying to work it out.
It's not the potato master.
This is what we use to mash potatoes when we have mashed potatoes. This is what we use to mash the potatoes up. Today we are mashing
Cream.
Cream cheese. All right, I'm going to get that nice and soft.
Go soften.
Can we what? Soften it? Here, trying to mix it up. Nice job. All right, now Mama helped you. All right, so clearly we are really mixing up our cream cheese.
I'm doing.
You are steering, and we are creaming the cream cheese, as it were, to make sure that it is soft enough. So this recipe also calls for Grand Marnier. We don't particularly care to be adding it, especially with baking with babies, but that is one of the ingredients in this section. So feel free to be adding that as well. To kind of compensate for that, you might want to add a little bit more vanilla if you are not using the Grand Marnier in this particular section. And if cream cheese isn't your thing, these tarts, we're going to be making some whipped cream at home. You can also just put a layer of whipped cream at the bottom in there too, as well, just as a suggestion if somebody in your house doesn't like cream cheese or can't eat cheese, as they are in our house. So Are we ready for the next thing? What are we going to put in?
Vanilla.
Vanilla. Well, let's start with the sugar. Let's start with the sugar first. You're going to add 3 tablespoons. Do you need a wipe? 3 tablespoons of sugar, just regular sugar. And oh, who's on our spoon?
Nope.
Snoopy and Woodstock. Okay, so we're going to get our tablespoons.
Oh. Oh.
All right, here we go. Can you help me put it in? Oh, how nice. 1, 2. May. Whoopsie. All good, all good, all good. And 3. 3. Yes? Yes. 3 tablespoons of sugar. Oh, no. We're not doing spoonfuls. Thank you very much, sir. All right, that's enough. All right. So let's mix it up. So you're gonna get your.
It's raining gold.
It's raining gold.
Pieces.
Gold pieces.
Come the helicopter.
Oh my!
The quality throwing gold pieces down.
Oh, how exciting is that? Who says that?
They stood up in the guy on the deck, and they threw gold pieces down from the helicopter.
That would be an exciting day, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
As you can see, we have full-on entertainment all the time in our house, folks. All right, so we're going to mix up. Whoop. We're going to mix up the sugar entirely into our cream cheese. And then the ingredient that you have all been waiting for. What are we going to add?
Vanilla.
Vanilla. So we're going to add a 1/2 teaspoon.
Yeah.
Yeah. 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. We might add an extra splash or 2, just because we're not using Grand Marnier, and just to kind of compensate a little bit. All right, here we go. So here's 1/2 teaspoon, and an extra little drop in there as well. All right, shall we mix it up?
Yeah.
Do you think we have enough spoons?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Hmm?
What do you reckon? What do you reckon? What do you reckon?
All right, sir. All right, so once you have that mixed up really, really well, you're going to set it aside, and we're going to get, should we get our strawberries ready? All right, everyone. So we're going to mix some of the jam with our strawberries. Like we were showing you earlier, just cut the bottoms of the strawberries off, and then you leave the rest of them whole to give a really red effect. You can use other berries as well, but the recipe calls for strawberries, and it's just really striking when you put them all in. So we're going to mix our jam in, and we discovered something in the past couple of minutes. We realized that something just tasted like it was missing with our cream cheese filling, and we realized that when we've had it from the commissary when I was much younger, the Grand Marnier gave it a kind of rose-colored tint to it, and it also had just a little bit of an extra taste to it. So we said, you know what, maybe if we put a little bit of the jam directly into the cream cheese mixture, it gives it a little tint, and it just changes the flavor just that much to get rid of some of the tang off of the cream cheese, and it was perfect. So if you don't want to be using the Grand Marnier, that's a nice alternative. So something that we just realized and found out. Alrighty, so now we are going to mix in the jam. You're mixing it? We're going to mix in the jam with our strawberries. All right, can you help me? Okay, so take some. I'm going to take 1/3 cup of raspberry jam. Oh, no. We'll do taste tests in a minute. We're going to add our jam in first. You're going to take 1/3 cup of raspberry jam, and you're going to mix it. It's basically just to toss the berries in there to give them an extra kind of shine, extra little bit of a glisten. Okay,
What is a glisten?
A glisten to make them sparkle.
What is a glisten?
What is a glisten? It makes them sparkling. Obviously, as they call for, seedless raspberry jam is what you're going for. We couldn't find any without the seeds, so we've got little extra glisten. We've got the seeds still mixed in there too.
I had the
You want it to taste a little bit of the jam?
Yeah.
In just a minute we can. All right, so you want to make sure that it's coated all over them, and that's just kind of to your preference and to your taste, just how much you put on. All right, here we are.
I did it. Go ahead, Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
All right, sir.
I can bring the bowl.
We're going to put it all together. Are you ready to put the whole thing together?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
I'm going to.
All right, so we're ready. Are we ready to put the whole thing together?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so we wound up putting our tart shell into the freezer for a couple of minutes, around 10 minutes, to make sure that the bottom is solidified. Because if it's not quite solidified,
I'm not being silly.
you were just being silly. If it's not solidified, then it will start to mix with the cream cheese filling, and it's just a nicer presentation if it stays as separate layers. All right, can you help me pour this in? Pour this in, then we're going to spread it around. All right. So again, if you're doing multiple tarts, this will be divided up between those tarts. But since we're only doing one, we'll put it all in. Okay. All right, shall we take our spatulas and spread it around? Get all the different sides. I kind of like what the jam does too. It gives all the little, it looks almost like little sprinkles, little sparkly things. All right, and once you get all of that spread out into all the nooks and crannies, yeah, once you get all of it spread around, then we're going to add the strawberries. All right, dude, you ready?
Yeah.
You ready to add strawberries? All right, here we go. And it is completely up to you and what presentation you want, where you would like to put the strawberries. So, all right, let's just push these up so that we don't get jam all over them. Okay, I'll do the same with mine. All right, pick a strawberry. Decide where you want to put it. It's a little slippery. And remember, we put the bottom down like this, look, so the flat part goes down, just like that. Next one. Oh, perfect. Is it a little messy? All right, and the bottom goes down. Nice job. Good job. You don't have to push it down, bud. Just lay it down gently. Are they squishy? Nice job. Oh, do you want to put the really big one in? The really big one in. We'll wait till the end, and then we can taste it at the end. Okay. Nice. Okay, not too much. Not too much. It's good. All right. Don't squish it too much. Don't squish it too much. Yeah. Tasty? Is that tasty? Yeah. Good thing we're keeping it all in our family. All right, put some more in. Almost finished. Scooch some over.
I'm gonna have one with them.
How is it? Is that yummy?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that's your basic presentation, everybody. You can get a little creative with where you want to place your strawberries or your additional berries. It sometimes gets served with whipped cream, so we may
Please go and get another wipe.
go and get another wipe. We're a little sticky, but you want to say happy baking?
Happy baking.
And
Happy Valentine's Day.
happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Happy baking. See you at the next episode.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome to our next step of baking with baby. We're gonna eat it now.
We're going to eat it now. This is our favorite step of the entire episode when we get to taste what we've made.
Yeah.
All right, shall we do it? All right, you take that side, I take this side. What did they? That was really yummy. Nice job. Nice job, dude. You see? Happy baking, everybody.
Happy baking, everyone.
Happy baking, everyone. Happy. Wait. Come here. What are we gonna say? Happy
Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. See you at the next episode.